Hey, Archie here, and today I'm gonna show you how to find the right audience using these 7 questions that I'm about to share with you in this video. Now, I know it is quite frustrating to spend and to invest the money on all these social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, without knowing actually if you are targeting the right audience. You're kind of like guessing, you're thinking that you are targeting the right audience. Well, in this video, by the end when we finish, you'll have 100% clarity whether you are targeting the right audience or not and how you actually do that. Okay, how many times have I already used the word audience? Now, anyways, this video will be a little bit different. I will use a different format and I want to see how you will respond to that. So what I was thinking, because I've just onboarded a new client and they are selling a jewelry, so I said to myself, instead of just doing this process by myself, let me actually document and record this in one video so then you could see how I do that for every single of my clients, and you know, I could be a lot more transparent with you with all this process, so you know for sure that this is exactly the proven steps that I am doing also consistently with my clients. So starting with the first question here, we will be still on the surface level, on the visible part of the iceberg. Here we'll ask ourselves questions like, what are the most common age range? Are they millennials? Are they Gen Z? Are they baby boomers? Then also we want to know what is the most common region, where do they live most of the time, because let's say that you are targeting the US and you see that most of them they are coming from, let's say, states that they have a much better financial kind of situation, then you could kind of forecast that, okay, probably I need to change a little bit my message to talk to that audience, so then it compels much more to convert like a bigger pool of audience. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the other questions that we could also ask ourselves here at this stage is, what is their average income and how much they are spending on a yearly basis on that industry. Now, in our case, for this client, we have jewelry, so I have to make my research and find that out. Now, this is very crucial. Why? Because knowing that, I could adjust the message that we're promoting throughout our ads, throughout our website, and throughout the entire marketing campaign that we are about to create. So usually this will take me a couple, like sometimes hours, depending on how well I know that industry. Now, because I've been working with many jewelry clients, I have already some information in my kind of archive, because this industry, the products they're selling, they're quite similar to the other clients that I have, so it doesn't take me that long. But for you, actually, it's going to take you just a few seconds. So enjoy, and in the meantime, I'm going to make my research. Alright, so after 30 minutes or so, I just recently finished the first question that we had to answer. And by the way, if you're thinking about what kind of magical tools I am using, I'm simply using Google. Yeah, I simply go on Google and I search things like, alright, who buys the most jewelry in this price range? By the way, our price range here is going to be, for this client, 50 to something like $100, right? US dollars, so 50 to $100. The average order value is somewhere like at $75. Not the best AOV, but over time we could definitely increase this. So pretty much I went to the Google and I said like, who buys most jewelry with a price range like that? And then you have a whole bunch of lists and different statistics and markets you could make your research on. So here's what I found. We have female between 20 to 54, all these regions, because here we're targeting US and Canada as well. Then we have also the average person earning per year, 40K to 80K, and also we know that they're spending between $200 to $500 on jewelry per year. So in what kind of industry you are in, you want to find out these 4 aspects, first of all, about your client. Why this is so important? Because then we could forecast how much they will spend on your store per year if you are really good in what you're doing. and you are improving your experience with your customers, you could increase the lifetime value. So, let's say in this example, we have $500. We could forecast that by improving all our experience and the branding and everything like around your business, you might increase the lifetime value per year of a customer to $500. So that's the first question that we have to ask ourselves. And now moving to the second question, this will sound something like this. What identity matches the most with the ideal client that we want to reach? Now, to find out the answer of this question, this depends a lot on your niche and on the products that you are selling, on the design of your products, and also the final or the end goal that you have. Let's say that if you position your product that you want to target, let's say busy moms, then pretty much the identity is going to be busy moms. And that is very crucial. Why? Because knowing that, then we could use visuals, messages, copies related to that identity. Now for this client, I was looking at their website, I was looking at their about page, about their branding overall, and also I was looking at some of their existing customers. Like literally I went to their Facebook page, their Instagram page, and I was looking how they look, and then based on that, this is the identity that I found. So we have for the delicate but strong woman, for the traditional but fierce, the accessorized but effortless, essentially for the women on the go, women who are independent, women who working on some kind of companies, pretty much a very busy woman, basically an average woman with a family and children. Now moving to a third question, this is gonna sound something like this. What kind of hobbies do they have? What kind of activities are they doing in their spare time? So to find out this question, usually what I do is I go literally to the Instagram page of my client or to their TikTok page, and I look at the comments, because the ones that they add comments are either their existing customers or they are pretty big fans of that brand. So I go to that page, and then I look at their activity, what kind of stories they are posting, how frequently they are posting on social media, are they active, aren't they so much, what are they doing in their spare time, do they like traveling? So I want to find out their main activities, and their activities are also outside of what they're doing on a daily basis. I'm gonna go ahead right now to look at those comments, to look at their pages, and I will be back in just a matter of seconds for you. For me, it's gonna be a couple minutes. Alright, pretty much I have found a couple things very interesting and I want to show to you. So we have a few hobbies here. We have traveling, we have food. This is something that I actually have seen quite frequently. They love to cook, and sometimes they also love to go to fitness. Not that often. I have not noticed that to every single of the person that we're commenting or to their existing customers. Also, one thing that it is very, very common is that they are very, very pretty active on Instagram. They have hundreds of posts, and they also post quite a lot on Instagram story, and they also from the Middle Eastern world. Now, knowing these three things, maybe a next question that you will have is, what can you use with this type of solutions, with this type of things that you've found? Now, my answer is gonna sound something that probably you have not expected. Most people will think that with this type of things that I know, I will go and I will use some kind of interest in my Facebook ads manager or my TikTok ads manager, depending on where you are running your ads to. Now, on the other hand, what I would use actually personally, because I know that right now the way algorithms work, actually targeting happens on the ad level and not on the ad set level, meaning is that the interest that you're using or the lookalikes that you're using, they do not actually impact that much. It is not a big guidance for the algorithms. What they are looking at, they're looking at your creatives, at your visuals, at your message, your copy. That is actually what does the targeting. So knowing these three things, I could definitely include in some kind of shape or form some visuals or some copies that will match with these hobbies, something that will show visually that, you know, the person that we have in our ads have kind of the same hobbies, also it is from the Middle Eastern world. So the models that we're using, we have to be very carefully with that. And again, without knowing that, probably I would not even think about like using models that look from the Middle Eastern world. By choosing these people that they look like them, that is going to resonate a lot with those potential new customers. Now, let's go a little bit more deeper and go to the fourth question, and this is gonna sound something like this. What are their pain points, their aspirations, and their desires? So now, going from the surface level, like knowing their age, their gender, we go much more in depth and finding of their frustrations, of what makes them like awake during the night. We want to find out those things so then we could use them for our ads as well. Now again, for this, to find out the answer to this question, I go to like platforms like Amazon reviews to look at the reviews. Especially I look at the reviews with 3 stars, because there I could find a lot more insightful info to use for our ads, to articulate better the value of our products, to know what actually to solve, what are their main pain points there. Also, I look at platforms like Reddit. At Reddit, you could find out a lot of problems that we're facing with when it comes to your industry. And also, one of the things, if you want to find out more about with the psychology, why they would want to buy your products, I would choose Quora. And in fact, I'm gonna go right now on Quora and I will show you exactly how actually I do it. So on Quora, pretty much you want to search here like question like why do, let's say, women buy jewelry, and here's what I found. So you could see here there are many people they are answering this question, and it doesn't matter that these questions they were answered 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, because this comes down to the human psychology, and the human psychology does not change that much. The algorithms change, the platforms might change, but how we behave, why we are buying things did not change that much from 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So, you know, by spending here a couple hours, you'll find out so much valuable information to utilize for your ad creatives, for your website, and for all your marketing campaigns. So for you, again, it's going to be just a few seconds. For me, I'm gonna spend a couple minutes here and then I'll show you what I have found. Alright, so this is what I found after just looking at 6 or 7 answers, and there are a lot more. I could spend my entire day just looking at those answers and finding out more insights on why people buy jewelry. In your case, whatever industry you are in, you could find out with like the psychology of why they're buying your products. So just a few here to name to get the attention that they deserve, treat themselves, elevate their status. When some of the problems, nothing special, everything looks the same, jewelry tarnishes and loses its shine, doesn't last long enough. So for problems, we want to find out a solution. Usually to come up with a solution, I communicate with my client and I tell them, hey, these are the most common problems that our clients are facing. So how can we solve this? If this is possible, if that is possible, then we definitely want to portray visually and with copy throughout our ads the solution to those problems. So all the research and all the hours that we're spending here, they are going to be actions that are going to make you at the end of the day a lot of money. I believe so far you've enjoyed this video. Usually for this kind of process, I charge thousands of dollars. And here I am going to give you absolutely for free, so you can come back to your business, to your website, and implement this and take your business to a whole new level. Now, the next question that we want to ask ourselves is, what is their current situation and what is their desired situation that we want to get using your products, using your industry? So based on the pain points, based on the customer avatar, based on their desires, then we can create their like current situation and their desired situation. And this is what I came up. So their current situation, pretty much they look like everybody else. They think that they look like everybody else, and they don't express their unique personality. What is their desired situation? Well, they need definitely attention and the feeling of being more confident. They want to say that they are successful women by showing off a jewelry that represents her personality and aspirations. So this is again something that I came up based on what I found so far, based on the answers, based on how people behave, based on Quora, Amazon reviews, and all that things combined. So after knowing these two things, this is very, very valuable, because then we could portray that, through our ads, through our website, through our ad message. And when a person, let's say our ideal client, this particular client that we've created initially with our customer avatar, they see an ad that kind of portrays the true value of a product and shows them visually through text that, hey, this is your current situation, we understand you. Now we want to introduce this product that you will get to your desired situation that you've been looking for, you've been thinking about it. What do you think is going to happen in their mind? Most likely, if they see a good match, the offer is strong, the visuals portray very well that, they're gonna be more likely now to go to your website and buy from you right away. So that is going to increase your conversion rate, your return on spend, and ultimately your profit. Now, your next question might be, okay, Archie, but how can we articulate the current situation and the desired situation? And this kind of leads me to the next question, the sixth question that we have to ask ourselves when we want to find our targeted audience. And this is, what is their customer language? So when it comes to the customer language, this comes down to the words, the phrases, the abbreviations that they are using with their friends and also in your industry. Now, it is very, very valuable when you already have clients, when you have reviews, when you talk to your clients. So usually, and this is after making just a bit of research about the reviews that we have on the website for this particular client, these are just some words that I have put them together. So we have here, delicate, goes perfect with all outfits, received good comments, elegant, stunning, eye-catching. Now, knowing that these are the words that they're using, and by the way, you'll see that they are using kind of the same words. Different people, they're using the same words. So that's something that happens all the time. It is very common. Now, you want to take these words, you want to take these phrases, and use them in your ad message, use them on your website, and also in your ad creatives, maybe for some kind of visuals. For example, let's say that we have here received good comments. This is going to be the emotional appeal that we could definitely use in our ad creatives, in our message as well. We could definitely use these three words like elegant, stunning, and eye-catching, because if you use the same words that they are using, this is again another psychological trigger that it makes them feel understood. It makes them, you are on the same page with them. As you can see, when you are creating visuals, when you're creating your copies, it is not that much about creativity. It is about looking at the data and then using the data accordingly. I am not that creative person. When it comes to creating some kind of creative strategies for my clients, usually I look at some kind of ads library, I look definitely at their customer language, and then combine those two things, I pretty much come up with that creative strategy. I am not coming up with new creatives from scratch. I'm not that good at that. I'm very good at analyzing numbers and data, and then according to that data, I can come up with a very good creative strategy. Now, the last but not the least question that we have to ask ourselves is, how can we put all this information together in the ads manager, right? Now it is the time to launch our ad campaigns on Facebook, on TikTok, and pretty much target the right audience. But how do you do that correctly? If you remember, in the middle of this video, I said that targeting does not happen on the ad set level. It is not about the interest, it is not about the lookalikes, it is about the ad level. However, how do you put together correctly those ad visuals, those ad messages, those ad creatives that will target the right audience? How do you create a good guidance for the algorithms to target that ideal customer? Now, this is something that I talk a lot more extensively in this video over here. I highly recommend checking that out right now, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.